South Dakota is part of Tornado Alley, and in 2020, the Rapid City Weather Forecast Office issued 426 warnings for severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. While they can be exciting, especially for those of us who don't experience them, we always feel a bit vulnerable on our travels through the region. That was quite a storm last night. It was interesting. Luckily, we were at the edge of the storm, so we didn't get any, real close lightning or anything. Now we're in Mitchell, by the way. We're going to see the Corn Palace again. Haven't been there in decades. We're going to go to an archaeology site that is being excavated by a university. And then we'll start heading north on 29.
Turn right.
That's a big water tower. We have arrived. Parking is that away. Wow, world's only corn palace. Why would you need two? I don't remember it this way for some reason. They even have corn on their lights. Apparently this was built to attract people to this area. And every year the art on it changes. In the late 1800s, at least 34 corn palaces sprung up across the Midwest to celebrate the autumn harvest and attract people to these communities. But only the Mitchell Corn Palace still remains. How do they get the corn to stay up?
Hard to beat the price.
Okay, so he says that they cut the cobs in half. They cut them in half, and then they have an air gun, and they shoot these nails or whatever in there, and then they have to strip them every year to get them out. Amazing. The original Mitchell Corn Palace was built in 1892. It's been rebuilt several times with the Russian-style onion domes and minarets added in 1937. Designs are created by local artists, transferred to tar paper, and coated like a paint-by-numbers kit. Corn is grown locally in 12 naturally occurring shades. It takes about 1.5 million nails and 325,000 ears of corn to complete the job. It costs about $175,000 each time the palace is redecorated. John spotted this ice cream place across the street. Did we do it?
Oh yeah.
It's not even 11. So when we were here 40 years ago, none of this stuff around here was here. This was, in fact, this is the parking lot right now. And so it looks very different. Wow. They have, ooh, look at that. Eskimo Kisses looks really good. Raspberry chip cheesecake. Majestic Milky Way. It's got coconut in it. Mm-hmm. What's that? Chocolate and
Milky Way.
In 3/4 of a mile, the destination is on your right, Mitchell Prehistoric Indian Village.
That is called a bull boat. That's amazing. Lewis and Clark made contact with these people in 1804. The Mitchell Prehistoric Site is situated on the banks of Lake Mitchell, now a reservoir, but in prehistoric times it was Firesteel Creek, a tributary of the James River. It is the only archaeological site in South Dakota open to the public and provides insights into the lives of Native Americans who lived in the area over 1,000 years ago. The site was discovered in 1910 by a student from Dakota Wesleyan University. Today it's managed by a nonprofit and provides a field school for students from Exeter University in England and Augustana University in Sioux Falls. It's estimated that there are 70 to 80 lodges buried at the site, which was a major bison processing center where bone grease was extracted for the manufacture of pemmican. Pemmican is a long-lasting sustenance food made of protein, fat, and berries that originated with indigenous tribes in North America and later introduced to early explorers. The nutritional density and long shelf life made it ideal for hunters that wanted to travel light. So this whole hill would have been covered in lodges. Huh. The people who lived in the Mitchell Prehistoric Village 1,000 years ago were among the first to grow maize. Corn may be native to Mexico, but it was Native Americans who used selective breeding to allow it to dominate the northern plains. Excavations have uncovered numerous artifacts, including pottery, tools, weapons, and ornaments. There were storage pits for maize, beans, sunflower, tobacco, amaranth, and squash, indicating a reliance on farming. We are going to go here, up to here, and then across to Sault Ste. Marie, which is over here. Are these all bone fragments, or are they?
These all up here are bone.
Mm-hmm.
These, I'm not sure whether or not they might be rock, but this I just got done as a tooth.
Wow. Do you know what animal that would be?
I'm guessing maybe dog.
Unless it came from like Newfoundland area, Newfoundland, Labrador. So the river was dammed in the 40s. Most of the community is down underneath the water. I think she said it was 20-acre site. And the University of Exeter in England, they're the ones that are doing the dig. And they come once a year from mid-May to mid-June. So that's a good time to come so you can watch them doing their work. I find that's very interesting and definitely worth. We only paid $5 because we got a one free thing when we went to the Corn Palace. The guy at the entrance gave us a little coupon so we could get one in for free, and then seniors pay $5. Otherwise, it's $10. Wow! What caused that? Pavement color has changed. That might be the border. There it is. There's the sign on the right. There it is. Welcome to North Dakota. It's got a lot of trees. May not be too hot. North Dakota allows overnight parking, so we are going to park. Overnight. Look what just pulled in. Wow. That's amazing. Whoa, look at that sky. Wow. I'm just glad I finished a video. Now I can upload it. This was the quietest rest stop we've ever been in. I slept like a log and the temperatures dropped at least 10 degrees. It's gonna be super windy today. We were looking for some hiking or biking somewhere. We're just north of the border, South Dakota. We're in North Dakota. John says he found the perfect trifecta. What's the perfect trifecta, John?
There is, in the general area, the world's largest catfish, the world's largest ball of twine, and Otto the otter, the world's largest otter.
So that may be the excitement for the day.
For the whole month?
For the whole month.
Wait a minute. It's late June.
Yeah, that's right. Checking out Roadside Attractions seems like a fun thing to do on this blustery, cool day in North Dakota. We found a bunch of them nearby. One is the tent pole monument to the circus dead. My great-grandfather on my mom's side worked for the circus. So that kind of piqued my interest. So what happened was the Ringling Brothers were coming to town. They were kind of hurting for money, so they weren't going to not let the show go on. So while they were putting up the tent poles, lightning struck and 2 men died instantly. 1 died later at the hospital. 2 men were stunned. The 2 that died instantly were actually buried here in town. They put up a monument to memorialize the event. Atlas Obscura has introduced us to some obscure and unusual places, and our first stop fits that bill and leads me down a fascinating rabbit hole.
It's a cemetery. Oh.
If you didn't already know this about me, I love research and soon discovered an enormous collection of circus records online. It was June 10, 1897, and the Ringling Brothers Circus had come to Wapton, North Dakota. As workers began unloading everything needed for the show and setting up tents, performers were parading through town drumming up business for the afternoon and evening show.
Okay.
Heavy rain and severe weather were rolling in.
You have arrived.
The wind was so fierce that they called for anyone around to help hoist the big top. As 22 men pulled with all their might, lightning struck one of the main poles. Everyone in the vicinity was knocked to the ground, some stunned, others unconscious.
Charles Smith. Charles Walters. Yep.
Although most were able to walk away, several others were severely injured. 2 men, Charles Smith, age unknown, and Charles Walters, age 26, were killed instantly. The weather cleared and the afternoon show went on as planned. After the show, the 2 dead men were buried nearby at Riverside Cemetery, with everyone from the circus and many residents in attendance. After the evening performance, the circus packed up and moved on to their next show in Fergus Falls. The deaths of the 2 men barely made the news outside of Wapton. Circus workers pooled their money and covered the funeral expenses for the men and purchased a memorial marker for their graves. The monument is a replica of a shattered center pole adorned with the ropes, chains, and tools used to raise the tent that day. The names of the 2 men were carved into the base. It was placed over their graves on September 29, 1897. Charles Miller, one of the men found unconscious after the lightning strike, died shortly after the season ended from the injuries he sustained on June 10th. He's buried elsewhere. But I also discovered that there is another circus worker buried in Riverside Cemetery. In 1948, a musician named Herbert Walker, working for the Daly Brothers Circus, died from a ruptured appendix. He was 40 years old. Until we happened upon this site, I had never heard of a circus annual, and upon discovering them, I started reading the book from 1897. The circus was on tour for 5 months and stopped in 127 different locations. They crisscrossed the country multiple times each season. I can't imagine the amount of work and coordination involved in loading and unloading, setting up tents, feeding and housing workers, caring for animals, traveling by train and wagon. It makes the tour of superstar performers look like child's play. If you're interested in looking at these annual books or other Western shows from American history, then check out this incredible online resource. I'll link it down below. It's amazing how cold it is. Okay. That was interesting, though. I'm going to look them up and see if I can find a picture. One guy was 27. The other one didn't have a birth date on it. Just 3-some miles away is the world's largest catfish. And by the way,
Turn
look
right
at
on
that.
2nd Street South.
He missed-
Continue on 2nd Street South for 1.5 miles.
That might have been the world's largest peace sign.
British road.
Yes. By the way, the catfish is not in Atlas Obscura. John found it on Google Maps. Breckenridge.
At the light,
Great
turn
Northern
left onto
Railway.
5th Street North, King of Trails.
Okay. So,
Continue on King of Trails for 2 miles.
and this sculpture is 20 feet long and it weighs 5,000 pounds. It cost $12,000 to erect and was placed there in 1997. Got a big helicopter. It's right on the, what do they call this, the Red River? I guess Wapton is the headwaters for 2 rivers. Wapton.
In a 1/4 mile, turn left onto Dable Drive.
Grinder instructions. Look at that. Looks like Looks like a campground down there, doesn't it? Yeah, they do have a campground. Must be. Oh, there it is on the left, behind those trees. There it is.
Your destination is on the left.
There we go. Now we've arrived. So here's their catfish. It's kind of stinky here. John's really into his catfish. I, on the other hand, am going back in the car because it's cold. Okay, I realize what that smell is.
Steer manure.
Well, it smells like vomit.
I think it smells like steer manure and ditch water.
It's bad. Okay, now we have to make a decision where we go next for the trifecta. Well, somewhere back there we passed the border, so now welcome to Minnesota. Our next stop is Fergus Falls, where we're going to see Otto the giant otter, the world's largest otter. But there's a twofer there. There's also, I think it's called Broke Dam. It's called Broken Down Dam Park, and it's built around the ruins of a 1909 dam collapse. Here in Adams Park, it's supposed to be a giant otter.
Your destination is on the left.
There it is, way over there. Okay. Don't want to walk in that grass.
At least it won't smell like steer.
It's a minefield out here. Watch where you walk. Oh boy. Everywhere you walk, there's goose poop. John says the catfish was better even with the smell, but I disagree. That was such a bad smell over there. I'll take the goose poop. Okay, geesies, are you gonna move? I don't know. Watch out. Watch out. Careful. There you go. Those must be all single men. Looking for some girls. Huge solar farm. See it on the way back.
Turn left onto Broken Down Dam Road.
Broken Down Dam, formerly the Fergus Falls Hydro Dam, was a concrete hydroelectric gravity dam on the Otter Tail River, providing electricity to Fergus Falls. At 4:20 a.m. on September 24, 1909, dam attendants noticed electric lights fading and water flowing over the powerhouse floor. They quickly fled along a railway embankment just as a 10-ton generator was swept into the river. They reached a farm, procured a team of horses, and headed toward town to raise alarm. En route, they met the city electrical superintendent traveling towards the dam to find out why power had failed and why the station crew had not answered the telephone. The resulting flood destroyed 3 additional dams downstream, along with significant property damage. Miraculously, no one was killed. How cool is that? Lady slipper. Wow. So they discovered that the dam broke because it was built on top of a natural spring. And they only got operation out of it for a little more than a year. It was their hydroelectric plant. The Dayton Hollow Dam, 5 miles southwest, was saved because the owner of the Otter Tail Power Company received enough advanced warning to reach the dam and open the floodgates. The power company was then engaged by the city to build their transmission lines into town to provide power to Fergus Falls. Well, this is as far as we can go. They've had a lot of rain. So I head back, avoiding any poison ivy that I see. And wouldn't you know it, but a rumor was spread by a radical newspaper owner claiming that the owner had deliberately destroyed the city dam. It's a half-mile round trip, and if you're in the area, I would definitely say do it. Nice place to get a few steps in. It's just a huge amount of solar.
I don't know, there's a brick. Watermelon.
Past a giant foot. So we're gonna turn around and see that one too. We are approaching the big foot with the big toe. It's a funny looking toe, you know? Vining. We're in Vining, Minnesota. I'll look it up online. Okay, here are the facts about the foot and the town, the Nyberg Park. Ken Nyberg, 18 feet high, weighing over 1,200 pounds. He completed the Bigfoot in 1991, and he deliberately flattened its upturned big toenail to create a seat for human-sized visitors. Oh, that's cute. That's great. I love it. We're going over the Mississippi River, but our plans have changed considerably. We were going to do some things in Michigan in the Upper Peninsula, but now we found out our friends are at their cabin in Ontario, so we are going to book it across Sault Ste. Marie and into Canada and go visit them for a few days and maybe even do a bike ride. She says there's a rail trail ride up in Algonquin area. But tonight we're hoping this Walmart allows us to stay. Yeah. The skies have cleared and it's going to be sunny tomorrow. Hopefully a little bit warmer because it was chilly. 7 last night. But it was a good Walmart stay, and now we're going to go try to do a bike ride before we start booking it toward Canada. No, it said turn right. That's not it. That's not it. That's someone's driveway.
Your destination is on the right.
There it is. Okay. Oh, look, there's a turkey. See the turkey? We're at the Riverton end of the trail. Don't know which direction that is. Don't even know exactly how long this trail is. But I think it's part of the Mississippi River Trail, which eventually is going to go all the way to New Orleans. Hopefully my hands won't get too cold. It's going to warm up fast. Okay, we're off. No facilities here, just a parking lot. And going down that trail. Una Lake State Trail. Feels good to be back on the road. Coming up on a really big turkey. Look at that. It's a neat little small house.
We've given her a nice deep olive oil storage trough.
Excellent.
Maybe bottles of rum, olive oil, I don't know. Nice big countertop. One thing that we realized,
I couldn't wait to watch it. I just watched the van build.
Oh.
Looks really good. Okay, it says there's a scenic overlook that way over there. You want to go check it out?
Did you see, were those otters that were speared across?
I don't know what they were.
They didn't look like mice.
I know they were
looked
they
like
were really big. They were really
and
big.
They had their torso looked too long to be a typical rodent. But
Yeah. Okay. You want to check out the overlook?
Yeah.
It says 300 feet. Oh, there he goes. This is a mountain bike park. We're not going to do that.
the skills development area.
Yeah.
We spent a lifetime there.
Yeah, really. Nice. Wow. That peaceful. Down into a tunnel waiting for an Olay, John. This is a mine operated between 1912 and 1960, and since then, it's become kind of a lake district. But after the mine ceased operation, it was used as a launch site for the Air Force's Project Manhi's second flight. On August 19, 1957, the mine pit, which had not yet filled with water, provided protection from the wind as Manhi 2, with its 1,648-pound gondola, was deployed. 32 hours and 10 minutes after liftoff, the Manhi 2 gondola touched down 10 miles northwest of Frederick, South Dakota. Major Simons was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. This is the end of the line. We reached the end of the line. How many miles is it?
10.31.
Okay, about 10 miles. We took that little detour. Okay, now we'll turn around. Bike trail. It says easy, so I'm going to give it a try. Oh yeah, that was easy peasy. Oh, I'm going back up here. I don't know where John is. That was fun. More fat turkeys. 3 of them. Man, they're big here. Hey, girls. And we are back. Nobody else here. That's amazing. Ooh.
You're so rowdy.
How many miles did we do? What'd you do?
19.2.
Okay. That's fun. If I were coming back, I would only go from Riverton to Crawford. That's the best section. But I would stop and do some of those easy mountain bike single tracks, because those are a lot of fun. Welcome to Wisconsin. We remembered this place from last year, Apprentice Park. They have an artesian well, and we're low on drinking water, so we thought we'd fill up here again. There it is. Yep. We're all filled up. Nice artesian well water. We are going to stop at the DQ because it's, afternoon. You got to have that little snack before to stop. There's a fish. John likes the giant fish. Remember, this is a cute little town. That's all you need to know. Nice little park. Oh, look at that mural. Oh, I love it. Right in there. You see it? Right there. It's a nice mural. John has spotted the DQ. It's been at least 3 or 4 days since we had an ice cream. Haven't even licked it yet. Of course, John got a large blizzard.
Of course.
Sign, but welcome to Michigan. There's the Welcome Center where we got all those maps and things. Because we're from out of state, we look for national forest campgrounds in states that charge out of state fees. This one was nice and almost completely empty. $16, so $8 with this access pass. Let's fill out an envelope. Let's go see if they have sites. Looks like it's been a while before anybody came back here, but oh, there's some spots. Let's go down there. That one looks pretty nice spot. And we got a view of the lake. The only downside is mosquitoes. Let's take a look at the lake though. Pretty. Next week, we'll cross the border, visit the Bush Plane Museum, visit friends at their lakeside cottage, and find another rail trail in Algonquin Provincial Park.